Hey there, I'm KTIV First Alert Meteorologist Owen Basselman, joined with Chief Meteorologist Erik from our sister station, KWQC in the Quad Cities area. How are you doing this afternoon, Erik?
Well, we're pretty wet out here, Owen. I know you're getting ready to get a little bit snowy, but we're doing okay. We're on the warm side of the spring system, so we've had temperatures as warm as the 50s today. We're starting to cool down, though, now that the rain has started to fall.
Yeah, quite the large storm system here impacting Iowa as a whole. And we started off warm, as you mentioned here, early on this morning. We were close towards 50 degrees. Our temperatures are dropping, and with that, we are starting to see some snowfall in portions of the Siouxland area here out west from you. Here's the live look from our camera along the riverfront overlooking the Missouri River and into downtown Sioux City right now. In Sioux City metro area right now. Satellite and radar is trying to pick up on some of those snow showers reaching the ground, but we're still a little bit too warm right now. I think that transition will happen over the next couple of hours in the Sioux City area. We are seeing steady snow showers at west and across most of northwestern Iowa. Just talking about a steady rainfall right now, maybe even hearing a couple of rumbles of thunder. So today is a first alert weather day. We have rain transitioning to snow here this evening, and the wind has already picked up with gusts around 40 to 50 miles per hour, but later on this afternoon, expecting those gusts to be up to 60 miles per hour. With that snow falling, blizzard conditions are possible as we get into the evening hours. Those wind speeds right now are gusting around 30 to 40 miles per hour for most of us, now gusting to 46 in Tacoma, 48 miles per hour gusting there in Norfolk. And with that north wind we've had over the last few hours, temperatures are already starting to fall. As I had mentioned, we were closer towards 50 degrees this morning. Now most of us down into the 30s, 35 here in Sioux City, and where it is snowing close to the freezing mark, 32 in Yankton currently and 31 out in O'Neill. We do have blizzard warnings up for a large portion of the area, including a few counties there in northeast and everyone in northwestern Iowa under that blizzard warning except for Lyon County. You and the other counties in blue are under a winter weather advisory through tonight and then into the first half of your Wednesday. On top of that, we're talking about very gusty winds. We have a high wind warning for the potential of seeing wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour through the rest of the night. So tracking out the rest of your day here in the Siouxland area, we will start to see that transition to snow happen more for those of you out in western Siouxland. But I think by about 5 or 6 o'clock along the I-29 corridor, we will start to see that transition to a little bit of snow. And here's a look at what the winds could be gusting like at 6 p.m. out of the north between 40, maybe some spots over 50 miles per hour. So that is what will easily create blizzard-like conditions. And then as we go ahead through the rest of your evening, that rain-snow line will continue to push off to the east. So those of you in eastern Siouxland will start to see that heavy snow pick up by about the dinner hour or a couple hours beyond that. And then snow will stay heaviest out for those of you in the far east as we get into early Wednesday morning and eventually wrap up by about 8 or 9 o'clock, I'd say, on Wednesday morning. Here's a look at some of those snow totals we're expecting. Where that heavier snow sticks around for the longest, upwards of 5 inches or more possible here along 29 and Highway 81. I think in this zone between 29 and 81 is where we could see maybe 1 to 3 inches, but it's not going to be the snow that we're really concerned about with the system, the snow, I should say. It really is going to be those wind gusts. So gusting 50 to 60 miles per hour just about all night long, which will create those low visibility concerns. So any travel this evening and overnight is not advised whatsoever. Stay inside if you're able to. And I think that'll be the case again on Wednesday morning, because after the snow has already stopped, we will still expect to see some blowing snow around, because gusts are going to stay in the 40 to 50 mile per hour range through most of the day until we get into the afternoon hours. Those wind gusts will start to lessen up back down into the 30s. So once again, today is a first alert weather day with those rain changing over to snow and then blizzard conditions expected here today. Let's get a look at what's going on out in eastern Iowa, though. Bring back in Erik with KWQC in the cities area.
Yeah, that's right, Owen. Remember, let people know our stations both have great weather apps, so you can keep up on the current conditions right through this system as we take it on into Wednesday, which will be kind of a bad day for western Iowa. Here in eastern Iowa, we'll get a little snow, but as you can see, we're wet right now. And as we look at our Everywhere Camera Network, all across the viewing area, we're seeing those raindrops fall, and that's the first part of our storm system that will actually give us a little bit of snow tomorrow. Not a lot, and that's not going to be the biggest problem, but as Owen mentioned, wind a big concern with this system all across the state of Iowa. So for tonight, showers, even some thunderstorms. We actually have a level 1 out of 5 risk for some severe storms south of the Metro Quad Cities tonight. I'm not too concerned about it. What we're more concerned about with the heavy rain potential is flooding. Of course, we're getting perhaps a couple of inches of rain on top of ground that's still mainly frozen. Looking into our Wednesday, snow early, those blustery wind conditions. We've got gusts that could reach 50 to 60 miles per hour during the day tomorrow. And then for Friday, we're looking ahead to another system of potentially some wet snow. On the radar right now, boy, Owen talked about what's happening in the Siouxland area, but here in the QCA, we are looking at everything in the form of rain right now, and that's how it will stay right through most of our Tuesday night into very early Wednesday morning. Another wide swath of rain from St. Louis right up the Mississippi River that will move through the Quad Cities area as we go through the evening and into tonight. And again, some of those rainfall amounts could be fairly impressive. You get 1 to 2 inches of rain with one system at any time of the year. That's not good, but on top of frozen ground, that could give us some flooding concerns. Parts of the area south and east of the Metro Quad Cities, dry for now for the most part. But again, we showed you this band of rain from southeast Iowa that does stretch on the south. Will bring rain through much of the area as we go through the evening. There's that little nub of a severe weather risk south of the Metro Quad Cities. Again, not too concerned about it. We could have what are called strong thunderstorms. I'm not so sure that any of those will reach severe limits, so our main threat will be the rain. And as we look at our future here in the next day or two, via exact track, you can see that that rain moves through for the early evening hours. We get a little bit of a break during the evening, but overnight, back to some scattered showers. Some heavier indications of rain here south and east of the Metro Quad Cities, actually into our Illinois counties. Those could be some thunderstorms. And again, as we look ahead toward a little after daybreak tomorrow, we'll start to get some of that snow to wrap around the cold side of the system. And you can tell, look at the wind arrows coming in from the northwest. That's going to start pushing in the cold air. One, that leads to the transition to snow, and two, as we go through the morning into the afternoon, these winds really crank up. We'll be looking at those 50 to 60 mile per hour potential gusts by the time we get into the afternoon. But as long as those winds are speeding up and we get those wet snowflakes, you might be driving in this part of the state and you see the snow blowing from side to side, but you look at the ground and there's not that much accumulation. And I think that's how this is going to play out. We're only looking for spotty accumulations of a few tenths of an inch to maybe an inch. And then as we take a look then to the north and west, you've got the cloud cover that starts to break up with those strong winds during the evening hours. And moving ahead, we'll look to a nice Thursday, that's for sure. But for Wednesday, from 11 in the morning to 9 in the evening, we do have a high wind warning. This is mainly for our Iowa counties, but it does include a little bit of Illinois. Most of Illinois, though, involved in a wind advisory with those wind gusts up to about 50 to 55 miles per hour. Look at our wind gusts, though, as we go through the afternoon into the evening Wednesday. They crank up at least 50 miles per hour. Some of those could be a little low, those numbers that you see there. And as we take a look then at what we're expecting for our rainfall totals, again, generally about 1/2 an inch to 1.5 to 2 inches. Anything over that, mainly to the west, I should say, of the Mississippi River. Snowfall amounts, really not that much. An inch, maybe a few tenths of an inch either side of that. And then as we look toward Thursday, that's our little bit of a break. And then, Owen, we're looking ahead toward Friday. Another swath of some wet snow likely to move into the QCA. But what we're looking forward to, at least in the eastern part of Iowa, a nice warm up into next week. We could see temperatures in the 60s and 70s, and that will put a lot of thoughts of winter right in our rearview mirror. Owen?
Yeah, no rest for the weary over the next couple of days. Not only the snow chance today, but then yet again on Friday talking about that snow. Well, Erik, thanks for joining me here this afternoon, covering this quite dynamic storm system, we'll call it, bringing a little bit of everything to the area. Okay, very good.